Welcome into another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with Full of the Flock. As always, bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Baltimore Ravens today. And of course, we're in training camp mode right now. And Lamar Jackson is heating up with multiple weapons emerging, including DeAndre Hopkins, Dayton Wade, Devontae Walker, and others. We got some top highlights and plays from today's practice, as well as his quarterback coach T. Martin talking about the chemistry brewing between DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson, his physical condition, how fast he's been looking. Got a little bit of an update on Cooper Rush, how he's been playing as the backup quarterback. Some excitement buzzing around Keaton Mitchell, who's fully back healthy from that injury. Practice intensity ramping up, as well as Todd Monkens and the coordinators talking about the team's goals this year, man. So let's go ahead and dive into the content. And number one, Lamar Jackson probably had his best day in camp today. Look at this throw. He dropped into the bucket over the defensive back. Dropped it right into the bucket for Dayton Wade on a 30-yard gain downfield. Dayton Wade turned a lot of heads in training camp last year, turned some heads in preseason, ultimately made the Ravens practice squad as an undrafted free agent rookie out of Ole Miss. Wade's got some serious speed and has earned some high praise from his teammates and his coaching staff. He's got a shot to make the roster. We know wide receiver 1 is Zay Flowers, 2 is Bateman, 3 is DeAndre Hopkins, 4 is Devontae Walker, 5 is probably Talon Wallace, and then 6, Dayton Wade could make the roster. But there's other guys battling in for that spot, Malik Cunningham and others. But Lamar in this Ravens offense was on fire today. Jackson actually threw a pretty nice no-look pass to Malik Cunningham while he was looking at Derrick Henry in the flat. It's reported that a few plays later he hit Wade again along the sideline. So this guy, Dayton Wade, he got an opportunity today because Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman were both not practicing today. So Dayton Wade got, a look with the first team and got some targets from Lamar Jackson. So shout out to Dayton Wade for making the most of his opportunities. He'll definitely have a chance to shine in preseason. Like we said, he was with the team last year on the practice squad, and I think he's building trust with his teammates and his coaching staff here. But another guy that's building trust with Lamar Jackson is DeAndre Hopkins. T. Martin talked about this today, talked about Lamar's conditioning. Go ahead and take a listen.
They made a play yesterday down in red zone 707 where Lamar and Nuke just kind of said what they were going to do, and it didn't go right. And Lamar just stuck with him, and it ended up being a touchdown. And you usually don't see that kind of trust with a new face this early in training camp. And so I think DeAndre has a history of making quarterbacks feel good because the outcome has been good most of the time. He makes plays. It may not be the way you may have coached it, but at the end of the day, the result is what you want, and it's touchdowns and first downs. And so early on, I see Lamar really forcing the issue of really trying to develop that relationship of trust with him, particularly versus man-to-man, fade routes, go routes, things of that nature. And those type routes will set up the other things that we want to do with him.
I think the plans for DeAndre Hopkins are higher and the expectations are higher than probably most of the fans are thinking for DeAndre Hopkins. Because I don't think they're just seeing this guy as like a, depth wide receiver 3 veteran. Maybe you'll get some targets here and there. I think they're seeing this guy as a legit consistent weapon in the offense, specifically giving him targets on the outside, fade routes, back shoulders, red zone, contested catch stuff. I think they're really going to be relying and leaning on DeAndre Hopkins in some big moments, and he looks like he's up for the task. I mean, he doesn't look like he's slowing down at all based off what we've seen and what's the reports coming out of training camp. He also made some big plays last year for the Chiefs and for the Titans, so don't sleep on the role that DeAndre Hopkins could have in this offense. So as a lot of you guys know, I just got back from my mission trip in Brazil, and I'll actually be going back again in just a few months, and I'm telling you what, Saily is the perfect option for this type of travel. I know the NFL is actually expanding internationally, and I know personally on this channel we have a ton of subscribers and fans from all different countries and people that travel a lot. So big thanks to Saily for sponsoring today's video. Saily is your new travel buddy. If there's one thing you should not forget to pack for your trip, it's Saily. Saily is a complete eSIM app that helps you stay connected in over 200 places around the world. If you're not sure what an eSIM is, it's pretty simple. It's just a digital SIM card that works without needing to put anything physical in your phone. You know, going to a different country and having to go get a physical SIM card, you don't have to worry about that. It's just a digital eSIM that gives you data no matter where you go. No more swapping physical SIMs. With Saily, you just choose a data plan. I'll show you what it looks like on my phone right here. You just choose a data plan. For me, I'd tap on Brazil because I would be going there more than likely. Put in that For the Flock discount code, install it on your phone, and you're all set. The app is super easy to use. You'll have internet wherever you go without expensive roaming fees. And just for you guys, Saily is hooking it up. You get an exclusive 15% discount on Saily data plans. Use code FORTHEFLOCK at checkout. Download the Saily app or go to saily.com/fortheflock. We'll have all that up on the screen for you guys. And we'll also have it in the description below. So again, a huge thank you to Saily for sponsoring today's video.
But no, he's in great shape. You know, he came in at a great weight, which he last year decided that this is where I want to play. He has his own workout regimen that he does during the offseason. All I can tell you is he is flying. You know, he took off yesterday in 2-minute drill. I don't know if he got touched, you know, and did a front flip in the end zone and all that kind of stuff. But no, he's running really well, and I can really see it in his foot quickness, you know, in all of our footwork drills that we're doing in the quarterback room. His escapability in the pocket, you know, they can't tackle him, but they're still having a hard time touching him too. So, but I like where he's at. To go the long haul, we know is all the way to February. The mental conditioning, the physical conditioning that it takes to get to the Super Bowl, I think that's what's on his mind, and he's looking really good.
At number 2, I don't know if you guys have been wondering about this, but I have certainly been wondering about it. I want to give an update on how Cooper Rush has been looking. Here's the report that came out from Ryan Mink. Cooper Rush has made some good throws, but I wouldn't say he's made any wow plays yet. His best throw of camp was dropping a long bomb into the waiting hands of running back Rasheen Ali. Rush is still getting accustomed to offensive coordinator Todd Monkens' offense after spending his first 7 seasons in Dallas. Perhaps most importantly, Rush hasn't made any glaring mistakes, such as bad interceptions, and teams are looking for a solid play from their backup quarterback, and I believe Rush can deliver that if called upon. So I think personally Cooper Rush was one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. You know, the times that he got to start, he got a lot of starting experience in Dallas and went in there and kept the Cowboys afloat and made a lot of plays through the air, getting the ball out to his weapons, specifically relying on CeeDee Lamb, which helps out a lot when you have that receiver there. But Cooper Rush has been impressive whenever he's gotten opportunities to start in the NFL. And I thought it was a big upgrade for the Ravens at the backup quarterback position, and I've been curious about how he's been looking. And apparently today was one of his best practices, hitting some guys in some tight windows and stuff as well. So that's an important thing to note. Is he was with the Cowboys like his first 7 seasons and coming into a brand new system and the first time with other, coaching staff and all that stuff. So I do believe that if Lamar Jackson were to miss any time, hopefully he doesn't, right? But if he were to have any, minor bumps, bruises, illnesses, or whatever, I do think Cooper Rush is able to get in there and dish the ball out to the targets and keep this offense going. At number 3, one guy who would just be icing on the cake if we get him rolling this year as another threat for teams to worry about is Keaton Mitchell. We know he was absolutely electric in the rookie year. He came out as an undrafted free agent. Electric lightning speed, was starting to bust open big runs every single game, and then had that brutal knee injury. And he talked about that today, about how severe it was. But it's reported that Mitchell looks supercharged, was the word that was used, and still has stood out even since the pads have come on, getting to the outside, using that speed. And John Harbaugh talked about him in the passing game as a weapon as well. So I'm excited to see Keaton Mitchell get some opportunities and, add a little bit of a lightning rod, some dynamite to this offense, some more explosion on top of the speed we already have with Derrick Henry, Devontae Walker, Lamar Jackson. This team is loaded with speed on both sides of the football, but particularly with offense. I don't know if there's many offenses in the NFL that are faster whenever you look up and down the line of your quarterback, your receivers, your tight ends, and your running backs. They can all fly, man. But check out this clip from the Lounge podcast on what Keaton Mitchell had to say.
I look at your knee and I see these scars, right? And that's a testament, man. That's like part of your story. You seen this one? No, I hadn't seen that. Oh man, that one's not facing me. That knee injury was a big one.
Yeah, career ending.
Is that what they told you?
Yeah. Everybody think it was just the ACL. It was my ACL, PCL, LCL, hamstring. Like, you can't speed up rehab. You can't go too slow. You just gotta stay on track and just trust the man up there.
Wow.
People were saying I should get tattoos, but like, nah, I need to see these scars just to remind myself what I went through. Just kept praying, kept going, ignored the noises. It was like all the people that was saying I'm never gonna be the rookie year of me again, just ignoring that, just staying down, staying rooted. 'Cause eventually I knew I was gonna get back to myself. Now I'm back. It's better.
So definitely a change of pace back. Like, if you're tired of getting pounded over and over again by Patrick Ricard and Derrick Henry, and then all of a sudden you got Keaton Mitchell thrown into that lineup as a little change of pace. You're like, whoa, like, that guy's fast, you know. So I'm really excited to see what he can do in this offense and get some more opportunities this year now that he's fully healthy. At number 4, practice intensity was ramped up today. They were not in pads for the 4th straight day in a row, which is good. But this is still it was still a full speed practice, and coaches were extremely vocal. It's reported that offensive line coach George Warhop was all over his guys today. Ben Cleveland was yanked out of a drill for a false start. It's also reported Daniel Falele was struggling with the heat and the humidity, despite losing 20 pounds in the offseason and being in a much better shape this year. And, you know, his teammates are speaking really good things to him. He was struggling in the heat and the humidity today. LaJohntay Wester was told to run a lap after jumping early. There was multiple false starts from the offensive line, and the coaching staff was getting on their guys, and it was very intense despite it not being in pads today. At number 5, I want to talk about what Todd Monkens had to say today. You know, first of all, one of the things he talked about was the battle at left guard. He's making it seem like we're in the middle of a battle. They don't have a guy yet, and if they do, they haven't announced it. But they said, you know, Andrew Voorhees and Ben Cleveland are battling out for that left guard spot. So I'm eager to see, you know, if they get some reps in preseason, how many reps and, you know, how many for each guy to really kind of solidify that left guard spot, because that's going to be a fun battle to keep your eye on. That's one of the only positions on the roster where it's not already established because of how loaded the roster is. Like, you got like all pros and pro bowlers at a lot of these positions that aren't, you know, having their starting spot threatened. But left guard is one of those few spots. Left guard and kicker is one of the true battles on this roster. You could argue about wide receiver 3 and 4 and wide receiver 5 and 6 as well. That's kind of open. But and then also the starting linebacker position next to Roquan Smith, you know, Jake Hummel, Teddy Buchanan, the rookie, and then Trenton Simpson all battling for that spot. So just a few true roster battles going on right now, but that left guard is one of those battles. When asked about what Lamar can improve on and, you know, what he can do in the offense this year and kind of moving forward, I was really excited to hear what he had to say. Go ahead and take a listen.
I think there's a lot left there for him in terms of growth. I think he sees the field better now than he did even 2 years ago. I can't speak before then. I can just speak to how he sees the field based on what we're doing offensively. And and the players that we have and the system. And I really do. I only think he's just getting started with his ability. He's always had the ability as a playmaker and to run with the ball. But his ability as he's improved greatly, which is a huge credit to him, in his ability to throw the football to win at all times of the game, really, and in all phases of the game.
So even with some of the weapons out today, you know, Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman, it's good to see DeAndre Hopkins, Dayton Wade, you know, Devontae Walker, and some of these other guys. The depth that the Ravens have built with their weapons is very, very exciting. To know that if the Ravens were to have a situation like they had with the Bills last year, where both Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers were out of that game at one point, you know, we know Zay Flowers didn't strap up at all. Rashad Bateman got nicked up later on. And Tylan Wallace, you know, stepped up and made plays for the Ravens in the playoffs, in the divisional, in the snow, and then Isaiah Likely. But I feel even better about the depth of this wide receiver core, the tight end core, just the running backs. All of the weaponry is deep. I'm also really at another position that's really deep this year is corner. Like TJ Tampa is reportedly turning heads. Jalen Armour-Davis has been one of the best DBs on the field. His problem has been health, you know, and he has been good when he's on the field ever since he was drafted by the Ravens. You know, coming out of Alabama, he's got some 4.4 speed, great athleticism, and long arms. I love Jalen Armour-Davis when he's out there in the field. He's just been battling injury. But Chidobe's been apparently making plays as well. So after Marlowe, Nate, and Jair, we know those are our 3 starting corners. Like, there is a true battle going on for cornerback 4, 5, and 6. Some of the rookies have been turning heads as well. So very deep team, very loaded roster. We get to see a lot of these guys play in just a few days in the preseason. Man, let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button if you enjoyed today's episode of Ravens Reports. Make sure you got your subscribe and notification bell on so you don't miss any Ravens news or content. Man, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
Ray, when he wasn't looking, he ran me over.